I'm tired. I'm grumpy, but I'm still out here doing my job. So Bitcoin's going crazy. Just got Bitmain Antminer S21 that was broken back. Why is he yelling? He's been up since 3 a.m. Why has he been up since 3 a.m.? I don't know. FOMO, stress, everything in life compounding. So I just got the Bitmain Miner S21 back. So this was a very early order. I mean, these things going for $5.5 grand around that time for, you know, a la carte orders. And in particular, I got this one from ASICMarketplace, and I got it very quickly. So huge shout out to them. And disclosure, they're a sponsor of the channel, but we also order miners from them too. So, you know, whatever. Discount code VoskCoin, all that stuff. But and you know, to no fault of theirs, mine are broke. A lot of S21s are breaking. Huge failure rates, especially on the last big batch to come out of Bitmain. These are notable because these are basically tied on paper to be the best Bitcoin miner you can buy right now. My micro BT M60S sitting right next to my other S21 that did not break. The micro BT is outperforming the Bitmain Antminer, but they carry a price premium for numerous reasons, that being one of them. So the warranty experience is pretty easy. And remember, this is a miner through a reseller, but Bitmain didn't hassle me about that. Punched in the miner information, serial number, went back and forth with customer support a little bit to no avail. And so I'm in Virginia, and I sent this miner up to Delaware. So pretty easy, pretty quick, cost me about 20 bucks. And then within about a week probably of shipping or maybe arrival, you know, transit time was a day or two at most. I think it was 1 day. Got the miner back. So I'm decently happy with that. I'm frustrated, you know, to be dealing with this, especially because it's such a high failure rate. Yeah, got the miner back. To my surprise though, I just popped it open. There's no anti-static bag on it, so I thought that was interesting that they chose not to do that coming out of a warranty and repair center. There is no adapter cable in here, so I believe that I have my original one that this miner came with. I've heard some reports that not everyone is getting the adapter cables with their miners, so definitely have a couple on hand or the correct power cable to, you know, be prepared and ready for that. So I'm gonna get this thing plugged in and then jump behind the computer in a couple of days and look at how this exact miner is performing. And you know, it needs to last at least a week, which would be longer than it lasted before. And then look at some of the Bitcoin mining data, look at the halving. You know, is it too late to get into Bitcoin mining, or is it the age-old adage that, you know, yesterday was the best day, today's the next best day, and then tomorrow sounds good too. But yeah, let's plug and chug.
Quantum Expeditions is doing a crowdfund. Anybody can get in on it. They want to be the next big publicly traded Bitcoin mining farm. They say that they don't have debt, that they're just raising to deploy even more miners, which would illustrate that they're already well funded and also want to get other people involved. Grassroots marketing like that is pretty interesting. Personally, I've gotten involved, and as always, you do whatever you want to do, but they supported the channel and I'm really rooting for them. Will they be the next big Bitcoin mining stack? I don't know, but I hope so. Link out in the video description below. How you been? It's been a couple of days since we last saw each other. Well, at least from my point of view. So I'm jumping behind the computer screen now. I just checked this last night. All right, somebody on the pool went down. Who's down? All right, so I got 2 miners down that are right next to each other. Nothing but fun working on a mining farm. Let's talk about something good. The S21 that I warrantied out is back. It's been performing well. It's specifically the mid-pod one, 24-hour hash rate as registered by the pool of 204 terahash a second. We go into the miner, we see low rejection rate, we see everything's looking good here, right? We look at hardware errors, It's good. This is a properly functioning device post repair. So let's kind of talk about that. How did the repair process go? And I got my handy dandy notes here, feeling like Blue's Clues. So the miner failed. I had some fans on hand, tried swapping that, tried to do anything I could to get this thing operational back online, right, myself. Those things failed, a temporary fix, and whatever else. I got this miner very early, which I was really excited about because sooner the better, right, with everything always. I was really excited because I got this thing early, which means we're going to mine some good coin prior to the halving, and I was going to have an early review on it. So I thought. But that's the miner that UPS lost. And then I got a replacement in, and this replacement broke. And I think the one that had come earlier was not going to be out of this faulty batch that myself and many others have gotten. I've talked to people that have literally 70% failure rates on their S21 miners. Devastating numbers, truly. This thing went down, did a little bit of troubleshooting with Bitmain, right? I went to their site, I opened up a customer support ticket. I'm getting responses within a day. And if you catch them when they're on, you kind of go back and forth and you get pretty quick responses. Tried updated firmware, did a couple things that they asked. Yeah, it's broken. Send it in for warranty repair. So you log in and you submit a repair ticket, and then you choose the closest repair site to you. So for me, that's Delaware. Right, so essentially I've got a couple of days of downtime and troubleshooting here. Then I box up the miner, I drop it off on a Sunday, it goes out a Sunday night, and it arrives at their repair center 2 days later. Upon them receiving it, right, it was shipped back to me 5 days after that. And it was shipped back to me with 1 day shipping, or just got to me within 1 day. So I got it back the next day, so I get it, I go out there, I set it up, and essentially what I end up with is about 2 weeks of downtime. Apparently they are just, redoing the thermal paste on these, and that's fixing this. I'm not quite sure, still doing research, but the bottom line is Antminer S21s feel very much like an overclocked Antminer S19 XP. As far as their power consumption and efficiency or whatever, but they have leading density going for them. These are very profitable miners. They're mining about $22 a day in Bitcoin before your electricity bill, and it only costs me $8.40 to run these per day right now. So I'm clearing $13 in profit, which means that having this down for 2 weeks cost me about $182 in lost mining profitability. It also cost me $20 to send this back. So, I'm essentially out $200, which sucks. And with the way that Bitcoin has appreciated in price, I'd actually be up a little bit more than about $200. The good news is, right, the Bitcoin miner, that's how they simply dub it these days on Bitmain's site, is profitable post-halving with the current metrics. It's crazy how far out the shipping dates are. So, if you go buy one without a coupon, it's $5,000, and they'll ship it to you sometime between May and June. And I can go and get it for $46.29, even less when you punch in the VoskCoin coupon code, which is the best coupon code you can use on ASICMarketplace. We worked hard to secure that with them. And I get this delivered, right now, right? And I haven't been hit with tariffs on orders from ASICMarketplace. You may be looking at the numbers and thinking that, maybe I'll get the T21, right? So similar numbers, kind of a better bang for buck. But to my knowledge, whatever they've done with these, I guess it just has to do with the power supply, right? Obviously. These are only set up to mine on true 3-phase electricity. I think a lot of people are going to grab these, and they're only going to have single-phase electricity, and they're going to run into some serious problems. Right now, Bitcoin's putting out almost $54 million in emissions daily. It's up 27% in the last 7 days, which looks like nothing compared to Dogecoin ripping 93%. Pretty cool. Pretty much anywhere you bought Doge probably over the last few years, call it the bear market, you'd be up around 100%. At this point, which that's very cool. That's a great feeling. Now these other coins are starting to go, right? Cadena, Nervos Network has gone up a lot recently. Even Bitcoin Cash is starting to just surge. Litecoin 30, right? Chia up 36%, Ethereum Classic up 28%. It's a great time in crypto as a whole, but especially many mineable coins are getting some seriously needed life just breathed into them. The halving's only 47 days away at the time of recording this video, right? It cuts the profits in half. Right now I'm mining like $22 a day. So then that becomes $11 a day if nothing changed. And of course, it just seems to forever get more and more difficult to mine Bitcoin. I would have, $2 to $3 in my pocket after I pay my 10 cent per kilowatt hour electricity bill. I'm working towards getting that electricity bill lower, but that's a work in progress. So it's pretty interesting. This becomes one of the most viable miners. Am I happy with it so far? No. Like, has the performance been impressive? Well, no, because I had a bad one. I think that my warranty experience was pretty good. It's a reminder, like, if you have anything wrong with your miner, depending on it and the severity, you should probably submit the repair ticket. If I have something that's completely not functioning, I can't even limp along with this or hope a future firmware, file is going to fix it up or something. What's really interesting is with the latest firmware, and they sent it back with this firmware, is you can adjust the hash rate setting with this new advanced setting sitting down here. And this is a very interesting way to potentially fine-tune the miner. I can only hope and imagine, I haven't messed around with it yet, that say you reduce the hash rate to 20%, that it would reduce your power consumption, and you may even be able to find higher efficiency, right? And efficiency is broken down simply by, you compare the watts and the terahash. So we look at this consuming 3,500 watts, and it mines 200 terahash a second. So 3,500 divided by 200 gives us the 17.5 watts per terahash. The less watts you use per terahash means you have a more efficient miner. I remember these are ASIC miners, the application specific integrated circuit chip miners, or that's what the C stands for, chip. These are purpose-built Bitcoin miners. Bitcoin mining has been industrialized, but it's still possible to profitably mine Bitcoin at home. But what you're going to need is either solar panels, really cheap electricity, or simply the most efficient miners possible, which would be the S21 as one of the options there. Personally, I've just really had a great experience with my micro BT WhatsMiner M60S, but they've just been expensive and hard to get. I mean, major mining farms are buying these up quick because they have the C20 plug on them as opposed to the new Bitmain power cable that you need. So all my two S21s came with an adapter for this, but I've heard some horror stories, okay, that some people ordered S21s and they did not come with them, and then they didn't have a way to deploy them. This is the Altair mining PDU I've talked about before. I really like these. Altair's been a very knowledgeable guy to work with, but I bring up his site not for his mining PDUs. I bring it up specifically, okay, for this. If you're gonna order an S21, you should just buy one of these and have a spare one on hand, because that way, if it comes in, no matter what, you can deploy it. Otherwise, you may be stuck with downtime, realizing you didn't get the adapter cable with your order, and now you've got to go order one from somewhere and whatever else. I am just shocked how expensive these cables are right now, but a lot of people are scooping these up, I think, that are really in the know, just because they're worried about their miners hitting and not being able to deploy them. Again, I'm just not thrilled at all about them switching the power cable. Whether it was the right decision due to the electrical consumption is a conversation for another day. One of my two Antminer S21s has been fine since I got it, and I haven't even updated the firmware on that miner. The one that has been repaired, which by the way, I should have said this earlier, is the exact same device. They have sent me back the exact same device. It wasn't replaced or anything like that. They sent me back the exact same device, or at least it's the same control board. And I know that for sure. This miner has been performing well since it came back. I'm happy to have it back. Overall, it was a good experience, all things considered. Would I have loved a working miner from day one? Of course. Do I have a working miner now, about 2 weeks of downtime later? Yes. So it's not the worst customer service. I've ever had. And I hope that this was not the worst viewing experience you've ever had here on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. We're chasing 1 million subscribers. The market's picking up. The metrics are picking up. Help your boy get up there. Gold play button is a lifelong journey as we build out not only the VoskCoin YouTube channel, but we've had such a heavy focus on the VoskCoin mining farm and everything in between recently. So I hope you enjoy the content. Anything else you want to see, let me know down in the comments below. I'm getting a little excited, feeling a little bit better about everything. And, you know, at some point you got to just appreciate some steps forward and some gains, regardless of what's happened to you in the past. So that's my dad advice for today. Check out my pup here, our CA, our Chief Advice Officer here at the VoskCoin YouTube channel. It's going to be Tails. We run 10 seconds of Tails on every video. Because she kickstarted the VoskCoin YouTube channel and mining journey in more ways than one. As always, I appreciate you. Have a good one.